Welcome to the Marley Bird YouTube channel, brought to you by Red Heart Yarns. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a very simple and beautiful lace scarf called the Dainty Feather and Fan Scarf. This scarf uses 2 balls of a brand new yarn from Red Heart called Crochet. It's a beautiful crochet thread that has a lovely little metallic string ran through it, and it just makes for the most beautiful lightweight garments or accessories you can make. This is a free pattern available at redheart.com. I'll be sure to put a link to the pattern and the materials in the video description box right below this video. And while you're down there, please smash that like button, as my kids say. This is a very simple pattern, so I'll be showing you the sample today with a different color yarn and a bigger hook so you can better see how the stitches are made. But once you learn this 2-row repeat, you can make this scarf in no time. All right, grab that pattern, grab your materials, join me back here, and I'll show you how to make this really great scarf. This scarf pattern really is beautiful. The combination of the yarn with the hint of sparkle and the feather and fan lace stitch pattern makes for a very elegant, lacy scarf. You start right down here at the bottom by chaining 39 stitches. Then you will single crochet all the way back through all of those stitches, starting with the second chain from hook. That's when you jump into a 2-stitch or a 2-row stitch pattern. We will work a series of increases and then decreases and then increases again to get this nice wave pattern. That's how you get the nice little chevron look here, okay? The feather and fan. So by increasing on the outside edge and then right here at the center, we are going to get these peaks. And by skipping stitches down here in these valleys, that's how we're going to get the valleys. Now what I've done is I've worked up a sample swatch with a larger yarn and a bigger hook so you can better see how the stitches are made. And I've already worked through several rows. So I'm jumping in at what would be a row 3. It's a single crochet row, but it's also very similar to the very start of how you would work this scarf. That's why I'm starting with the row 3 here in the sample. So let's take a look. You can see here I have worked up several colors so you can see the number of rows I've done. I started off with the Mimosa color and I chained 39 and then I single crocheted into each chain all the way back. So I had a total of 38 single crochets. Pretty simple. We basically know how to do that, right? On the following row, that's when it started the stitch pattern repeat. So I followed the stitch pattern for row 2 and I worked those stitches all the way across for row 2. Then I changed colors and did row 3, working all the way back, which is just single crochet into each stitch. Very similar to what we did down here, only instead of working into chains, we're working into stitches. That's where I am right now, okay? So if you were to chain 39, you're going to single crochet in the second chain from hook and all of the chains all the way back. So you'll end up with 38 single crochets. Or if you are on row 3, at the end of the row, you chain 1 and you will place 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way down and you'll get 38 single crochets. So that is where I am right now. This would be as if I was starting a row 3 or very similar to starting off by working into those chain stitches with a single crochet. I'm simply placing single crochets into each stitch all the way down the row. Very simple, not super complicated, and it's really easy to memorize. When you get to the end of the row, when you're working on the row 3, you want to make sure you work that last single crochet into the 4th chain of that turning chain, okay? You want to make sure you go into that 4th chain of the turning chain when you're on row 3. Once you've done that, we're going to jump to row 2. So we've done row 3, and then it's a repeat of row 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3. So we're going to go to row 2 now. I turn my work, and I'm going to start off with the chain 4. This chain 4 counts as a treble crochet. I now am going to place 4 treble crochet into that first stitch right there. And this is part of my increase that I mentioned to you. We're at the top, we're at the peak. And so we want to make sure we have our increases. So there's one, treble. Remember, a treble is you yarn over your hook twice, go into the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through two, yarn over, draw through two, yarn over, draw through two. So I've done that 2 times. I need to do that 2 more times. Once you've completed 4 treble crochets into that first stitch, we are going to begin working our decreases. And when I say decrease, don't get caught up on the word decrease. We're simply going to be skipping stitches so that way we can accommodate the number of stitches we need to create in this area, okay? The very first stitch we're going to do will be in the next stitch right after the one we did the trebles in. So I'm going to start a treble, I'm going to place a treble right after that first stitch. I do not chain 1 or anything else. I skip a stitch, and into the next one, I will do another treble. I do not chain 1, I skip a stitch, and I do a treble into the next stitch. I do not chain 1, I skip a stitch, and do a treble into the next stitch. When all this is said and done, I will have 9 treble crochets past this initial 4 I did. So I'll have 9 of them done, okay? So there was 1, 2, 3, 4. Five, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So if I set this down, you can see what I mean by decrease. By skipping all of those stitches between our trebles, we've pulled the fabric in, okay? So we've pulled the fabric in. Now we're at the peak right here with our feather and fan. So in the next 2 stitches, we're going to put many trebles in there so that way we can increase. We did our decrease here. Now we're going to do we did our decrease here. We're going to do our increases here. So I'm going to put 5 trebles into this stitch, and then I will put 5 trebles into the one right next to it. So we'll start with this one. And I will simply just put all 5 treble crochets all into that same stitch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, in the next stitch over, I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to put 5 trebles into the next stitch over. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so as I set this down, you can see, look at that. We have all of those stitches. That's a large increase because we put a total of 10 stitches into 2 stitches, but that gives us our nice fan look there, right? We have a wave going on here, and this is our feather. Like, it just looks really good. Now we're going to work down this way into the valley again, and we're going to be doing our decreases. The first one we want to do will be right next to the last stitch we did. And then we'll skip one, do a treble, skip one, do a treble, skip one, do a treble, so on and so forth until we get 9 trebles. We finish off this row by placing 5 treble crochets into this last stitch of the row. So let's go ahead and move on to do that. So I will put the first one into the stitch right next to the last increase I did. And then this is where I begin to skip a stitch, put a treble into the next one, skip a stitch, put a treble into the next one, skip a stitch, put a treble into the next one, skip, treble, when you put your treble crochet into the 9th spot, don't forget we now have to put our 5 treble crochets into that very last stitch there, and that's going to put all of those trebles that we want at the peak again. Remember, we started off with a chain 4 and then we did 4 trebles, and so this one we have our 5 trebles, and that will even it out. So as I set this down, you can see I have my chain 4, which counts as a treble. So that means I have 5 trebles, and then I did a treble, right? A treble, skip a stitch, 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 treble. And then in the following stitch, I did 5 trebles. The following stitch, I did 5 trebles, and then I continue on. So that's how you get this really cool look. Once you complete row 2, you go back and do row 3. So you go 2 and 3, 2 and 3 throughout the length of the scarf. At the very end, you will single crochet around the entire scarf just to finish it off. Then you can weave in your ends, lightly block the scarf if you want, and you have a beautiful piece that you can wear out tonight. This is a beginner-friendly lace crochet project, and it's intriguing enough for all of you experienced crocheters out there. I hope you will run out, grab yourself some beautiful croquet yarn. This is really affordable. You just need 2 balls of yarn, this video, and you can make this scarf in no time. I'm Marley Bird, proud national spokesperson for Red Heart Yarns, and I hope you enjoyed this video learning how to make this really beautiful crocheted lace scarf. I can't wait to see yours. Make sure you share with me on social media. Use hashtag Marley Bird, I guess it's over here, and I'll be sure to come by and smash your like button. Talk to you guys again soon. Bye. Hey, thanks for joining me today on the channel. If you want more videos just like that one, check out some of these other videos that I've already handpicked for you. And don't forget to hit subscribe so that way you're up to date whenever I release a new video. And don't forget, smash that like button, as my kids say. Bye guys.